Hi, it's Dwyer. November 7th, 2024. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, I saw a game yesterday that has changed my understanding of a basketball team and of the Western Conference. Let me be as clear as I can be with regard to the East, which I consider to be a done deal. If the Boston Celtics remain healthy, and understand they're not quite healthy now. Jaylen Brown missed last night's game. Kristaps Porzingis missed the game, right? The Celtics aren't even at full strength. They're the best team in the Eastern Conference. I expect them to play in the NBA Finals. Understand, you're getting better than even money on the Boston Celtics to win the conference. The Celtics are the class of the Eastern Conference. Let me also point out, too, something that's foundational. The Celtics are not only a very talented team with the best backcourt in basketball, right? Understand, they have a profound, and it is profound, home court advantage. You saw that yesterday. Warrior coach Steve Kerr comes out of the tunnel, sits down, and then Boston fans, who are smart fans. This is the fan base that knows the full situation. They didn't just happen to be at the game. These aren't tourists with tickets. No, this is a hardcore group. This is the group that knows when a player's in foul trouble. This is a group that'll cheer a guy for setting a great pick. The fan base started booing Steve Kerr. Why? Because Steve Kerr was the U.S. Olympic basketball coach who did not give meaningful minutes to their guy, Jason Tatum, at the Olympics. So the fans booed him. Steve Kerr, of course, has enough rings not to care. He waved at the crowd. But just understand, Boston is sensitive, right? They root for their guys. They thought, and keep in mind, several Celtics were on that Olympic team, right? Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, right? The Boston mindset is, you diss Tatum, you diss us. We're not going to cheer you because you won the Olympic gold medal, because, Drew Holiday got a lot of minutes. No. We hold grudges. So you have a great team playing in front of a passionate fan base. Folks, you need to understand that in a playoff series, the visiting team's going to be lucky to win one game in Boston. You're also going to have to realize that since the Celtics are the class of the conference, the Celtics really, at worst, if they stay healthy, at worst, are going to be the 2 seed coming out of the East. So, I'm in the Bay Area. The local team here are the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are off to a fast start. Steph Curry is doing what Steph Curry does best. And what that is the same way Steph Curry, rare superstar who actually wants to share the spotlight. The same way Steph Curry recruited and, had no problem playing with Kevin Durant. Steph Curry is totally happy that the Golden State Warriors picked up Buddy Hield. Right? Buddy Hield's a three-point shooting specialist like Steph Curry is. Now, some superstars would feel threatened. That's not Steph Curry's mindset. Curry's kind of like Pat Mahomes. That's the only other name that comes to mind. With the mindset of, hey, great, he's going to help our team. right? You wonder if Curry even wants to be the top guy in the locker room. Curry just wants wins. Curry doesn't even care if the guy's game overlaps with his. So the Warriors are off to a fast start. There they were against the Boston Celtics, and I thought, you know what? Let's see how close the Warriors are to matching the class of the Eastern Conference. So I was expecting the Warriors to lose, but I was expecting a gallant effort. The Warriors have reconfigured their lineup, right? There's been a big change in Warrior land. Brandon Podziemski, the guy who finished 5th in last year's Rookie of the Year voting, a guy who's still only 21 years old, he's the guy who leads the Warriors in minutes. It's not even Steph Curry. Right, so there I was watching the Warriors against the Boston Celtics, a team that's going to test you defensively. Right, and to my surprise, the Warriors not only win the game, but the team that was being tested by the other team's defense were the Boston Celtics. Right, folks? Mike Dunleavy has done a spectacular job with this Warrior team. Let me just point out that Steph Curry is kind of like a Jerry West figure. Right? Understand, Jerry West, for all the Mr. Clutchness, for all the great outside shots, Jerry West had a multifaceted game where he led the league in scoring one year, he led the league in assists another year. He's one of the dominant defensive guards to ever play the game. Right? Jerry West, there's much more to him than meets the eye. Well, you think about Steph Curry, and you think about great three-point shot. Right? Steph is a dominant scorer. Understand, Curry has led the league twice in points per game. He has 2 scoring titles. Right? But understand, he also has a steal title. Understand, Steph Curry can roll out of bed and get 5 assists a game. Right? There are layers to Curry's game. So, Curry was magnificent defensively yesterday. But so too were Gary Payton. You need to know these names, folks. This is an excellent defensive unit. Right? Defense is going to get them deep in the playoffs. Gary Payton, Andrew Wiggins, Looney, of course, Draymond Green, right? Kyle Anderson. All of these guys can D you up. You have a long list of guys on the Warriors who can D you up. Let me just say, in shooting, in terms of the ability to get off a 3 quickly in a snowstorm, right? Defense is draped all over you. You need to get the shot up. You get it up quickly. You're not going to find a better duo in this league than Curry and Buddy Hield. Right, folks? I'm just telling you, I've just discovered the sleeper in a deep Western Conference. Right? In the land of Joker, in the land of Shea, you actually have a team that's going to be right there with them besides Minnesota. Right? Keep an eye on the Warriors. The move I'm making right now. 2 moves. Steph Curry for MVP. Right, folks? I'm just telling you, Curry, 36 years old. He fits this team like a glove. He's the older guy on the court directing traffic. Right? Understand, this team has guys who've been together a long time and they know each other. Right? Curry works seamlessly with Looney and with Draymond. Right? Understand, Curry has court vision. This is not just a three-point shooter. So Curry is acutely aware, you saw it last night, that when he has the ball, the defense adjusts to him. And he understands that some of the other guys around him can close the show. So he was hooking up Buddy Hield. He was hooking up Kyle Anderson. Let me also say, too, you have a team that is extremely deep. I know it doesn't look that way. This team's extremely deep. Let's talk about the minutes, right? Just understand, Brandon Podziemski, he's at 28.1 minutes per game. Curry, at 36, is not averaging 30 minutes a game. He's averaging less than 28 minutes a game, right? How's that possible? It's because the Warriors have gotten younger. Moses Moody, 22 years old. He's at 17 and a half minutes a game. Jonathan Kuminga, 22 years old. He's at 23 minutes a game. Right? Just understand, Kyle Anderson, 31 years old. He's at 16.5 minutes a game. Buddy Hield, 32 years old. He's at 26.1 minutes a game. The point is, this team is basketball's equivalent of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Right, folks? The load management is built into the minutes played per game. Right? Guys are not going to get burnt out because you have youngsters out there getting significant minutes. Right? Understand the defense too. It might shock some people, but Curry is averaging 2 steals a game. The big shocker is Kyle Anderson. He's playing 16 and a half minutes a game, and he's averaging better than a steal a game. Right, folks? The defense is going to cause teams problems. Right? This is a different setup than, let's say, the Oklahoma City Thunder, where that offense is a little bit too ball-centric. Right? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has the basketball almost as much as Chris Paul seems to have the basketball when he plays. Right? Chet Holmgren has the basketball a lot too. With the Warriors, you're dealing with a phantom menace. Right? You're out there, you know Curry's a first ballot Hall of Famer, you know that. It takes a while to figure out that Curry, who isn't shooting that well this season, his field goal percentage is below 44%. He's hitting a lot of threes, but let's just say it's not like he's having a career year. It takes a while to figure out that the Warriors have ringers, that their set of young guys is among the best in the league, that no one is tired because no one is playing excessive minutes. Right? And it takes a while to realize that, you know, when he wants, Andrew Wiggins is one of the best defensive players in the league. Right? Understand he has an athleticism that Draymond Green doesn't have. This Warrior team is going to be very dangerous. No one's looking at them. That means more beer for us. Right? Understand, I believe the real money in betting is in futures. You want phantom teams like this where no one's talking about them. Right? Everyone's talking about everyone else in the West. And you're thinking to yourself, man, this team's not only going to make the playoffs. This team's going to get out of the first round of the playoffs. They might even make it to the conference finals. If you're a futures bettor, that's all you need to cash your ticket. Because all you're trying to do is to make it into the playoffs, make noise in the playoffs, be able to hedge the play. So they beat Boston in a game where Jason Tatum looked good, right? Tatum had a good game. Tatum's a bit streaky. This was a game where Tatum looked good, where Derek White looked good, where Steph Curry did not score 30. Warriors won the game by 6, right? Warriors on a futures play, give that a hard look. Steph Curry, who already has multiple MVPs. Folks, this is going to be a showcase because we're going to be months into the season. Let's say 3-4 months from now. And people are going to be scratching their head and they're going to say, what the hell are the Warriors doing? So high up in the rankings. How are they doing it? And the guy who's going to leap out at you off the stats, and let's talk about the stats, is going to be Steph Curry. Curry right now, by the way, is averaging, I'm telling you, this is a complete baller. He's averaging 5.2 boards per game. Steph Curry, the shooter, is averaging 7 assists a game. Curry for MVP, folks, he's going to be a serious player. Let me also point out, too, with regard to the East, because I know Knick fans, I was raised in a Knick household, right? I followed the Knicks since the days of Earl the Pearl, Clyde, Bradley, DeBusschere, Phil Jackson, Willis Reed. I know Knick fans are all caught up with Karl Anthony Towns joining the team. Right, folks? I'm just telling you, defensively deep in the paint, losing Randall is going to cost the Knicks. Right? Let's face it, in Philly, Paul George is already missing games. You should understand that Embiid, who got himself suspended, right? How could you be thin-skinned playing professional basketball in Philadelphia? Let's just say between Embiid and Paul George, the Sixers are going to miss them for about 25 games, right? Then you're going to have to ask yourself, how is a team that's getting to learn each other, that's integrating a superstar new teammate, how's that team going to play against the Boston Celtics, that finely oiled machine, right, folks? Also, I looked at Indiana. Let's face it, Halliburton got off to a great start last year, then got injured, has not been the same since. Let's be real too. Indiana, great offensively, not so much defensively. Right? They're not built like the Warriors, folks. So, I know the East right now, a lot of fan bases are energized. Right? Everyone assumes Jalen Brunson is going to look as good as he did last year. Right? Everyone assumes that, Embiid is going to be in MVP contention. It's not that easy. Boston's going to make the NBA Finals, again, if they stay healthy. The question is, who are they going to play? Folks, it might just be the Golden State Warriors. Keep an eye out for this team. Those are my thoughts. Let me hear yours in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.